This is the MV Agusta Turismo Veloce Lusso, and Australian bikers are already lining up to butcher that name.
Yeah, Turismo Veloce Lusso. Do you reckon they're as good as a Moto Guzzi?
The name means touring fast and loose, which is exactly
how... luxury, you dickhead.
Oh, that's a bummer. I'm not a big fan of luxury. Luxury soaps, they smell like old ladies. Luxury hotels charge you heaps and then make you pay even more for Wi-Fi. Luxury cars are snooty and leathery and wafty and boring to drive. Where's the fun in that? Anyway, this is the touring bike that MV's built out of its compact 800cc triple engine. The same one out of the F3, the Stradale, the Rivale, the Brutale and the Dragstale. But this bike gets all the goodies. It's the techiest bike MV's ever rolled out. It's got all the usual gear like 8-level traction control, up and down quick shifter, oodles of device charging points and Bosch 9 Plus ABS with anti-stoppy built in. But it's also got MV's own electronic active suspension, which reads the road and the way you're riding and constantly adjusts the damping at both ends to make things just right. And it's also got Bluetooth connectivity and some toasty warm heated grips and my personal favourite, cruise control. This is conceived as a compact and lightweight touring machine with a dry weight of 192 kilos and a pair of specially designed 30-litre panniers that don't stick out any further than the mirrors do. But there's one dimension in which it's not very compact at all. She's tall, real tall. Those legs go all the way up, and yours better too if you want to get on board. Now, thanks to my childhood training as an unsanctioned ninja warrior, I've been using the Bruce Lee method to get on this bike. You can also use the horsey stirrup technique if you don't mind your kids thinking they've got two mums. Starting this bike up, it immediately sounds very Italian. And by that, I mean straight away I'm wondering if there's a bolt loose in there or if there's some kid round the corner who wants his marbles back. The sound is terrific though through those signature organ pipe exhausts when you wind the thing up through the mid-range. And with this quick shifter you just never have to back off. It's like buzz root. Bang! 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 And I know this thing's only supposed to have 110 horsepower, but Jesus, it goes! Now, I haven't seen a dyno chart for this bike, but I reckon I can draw you one. There's bugger all down low. You've got to rev it just to get it off the line, just like all the other MV800s. Then, when you get to the mid-range, there's this crazy ramp of a power band which makes this bike feel like it's got a lot more than 110 horses. We'll call that the slingshot of woohoo! And the top end sort of trails off and it's a bit meh. So here's where the giggles are, and there are giggles aplenty. Now let's talk a little bit about suspension. It changes with the riding mode. My favourite riding mode is touring because it gives you access to all the power, but without the snatchy throttle that sport mode displays. But the suspension damping there's just way too much luxury going on when you get into the corners. It's great for smoothing out bumps on the highway, but it doesn't give you a whole bunch of confidence when you go to really lean it over because you find yourself sort of flapping and bouncing around. It just feels kind of sloppy. Luckily, you can build your own custom mode, including a custom designed suspension response map using an iPhone app. I love the idea of this. You drag the line around, changing your stiffness according to your stroke speed like some kind of tantric yoga master. So, that sloppy, loungy feeling in the corners, that's because it's way underdamped at the slow end. So let's ramp that up. We could leave the whole thing on maximum, but that gets a bit harsh over bumps, so I've eased the damping off at the fast end of both compression and rebound, and I've put in anti-dive and ticked these other boxes too so the suspension adjusts according to speed and load. I have never seen a tool like this before, and while it's a genuine turd to use, and it doesn't work on Android phones, and it gives morons the opportunity to really stuff their bikes up, I think it's still a brilliant thing to have. So with that new suspension map in, what a huge difference. This bike feels like much more of a corner carver. Instead of bouncing you around and out of your seat in the twisties, it just feels composed and controlled, and it gives you confidence, which after all is really all I'm looking for out of suspension. Confidence to ride exactly how I want to. So massive change. And you know, if I do want to go back to that soft and kind of sloppy suspension setup, and to be honest, I often do, especially when I'm on the freeway and need to have a pee, and every bump is just sort of pounding up into my bladder. All I have to do is just flick it into touring mode and lounge at home on cruise control. It's terrific. Speaking of cruise control, it's great, but you've got to turn it on with your right thumb while you're trying to keep a constant speed on a very touchy throttle. That's just about impossible. This button should go over the left side. But look, for every niggle I have with this bike, there's something really nifty. The riding modes don't change traction or ABS settings, so you've got to do them separately. That's a niggle. But on the other hand, the back seat's really comfy. It's got this hard knobbly thing on it, so you don't need to sew a golf ball in under the seat cover. And there's a little extra jigger you can flip out here. You can use it to lift the bike onto the centre stand, or your passenger can use it to lock their boot in so they don't feel like they're going to fall off the back. Then there's these cubbyhole compartments. They're too small for wallets, glasses or phones, and in fact I don't know what they're big enough for. And the dash is kind of a bit of a pain to find things on. But on the other hand, the menu system's pretty intuitive. The 21.5 litre tank will get you a range well over 300 Ks, and this hand adjustable screen sort of ranks as one of the least horrible screens I've used. There's no underseat storage because there's a hole there. But the hole looks pretty cool, I guess, as part of this weird Starship Enterprise of a back end it's got. And these wacky back indicators make pretty good conversation starters, even if they're not much good for, you know, indicating things. MV Agusta advertises the Turismo Veloce Lusso with the tagline Emotional Touring. What I think they've really delivered is a comfortable, fast, quirky Swiss Army knife kind of a bike that's just as good at chasing sports bikes in the twisties as it is on a daily commute or a two-up tour. It's a smart bike, even if it could be smarter, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the Euro 4 update goes. But all in all, I've been pleasantly surprised by just how much I've enjoyed this thing. To my mind, MVs have been lounge room showpieces for the last couple of decades or so, but with this 800cc engine platform, I reckon they're starting to make bikes people are really going to want to ride. I think the future's looking pretty bright. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give us a like or a comment or a subscribe if you dig what we're doing here. If you really want to support us, you can share this video on social media or go sign up as a New Atlas Plus subscriber at the website. It costs $20 US a year, which gets you ad-free access to our giant archives and lets us know you really care. Let me know what other bikes you want to see, and until then, catch you later.